Man, if you didn't enjoy that episode of NXT tonight, I don't know if you are even a human being. Man, if you didn't enjoy that episode of NXT tonight, I don't think you are a human being. Holy shit, man. What a great episode tonight. A really, really, really great episode tonight. No Johnny Gargano and no Tommaso Ciampa, although we got one tweet from Candice LeRae saying that she doesn't want to be involved in her husband's business with Ciampa anymore. She doesn't approve of this. She will not watch what Johnny Gargano is becoming. She don't want to watch anything of his anger. She thinks that the anger that resides in him is taking control of Johnny Gargano, is taking control of her husband. We didn't see Ciampa. We didn't see LeRae, but we seen Gargano. So we're not going to be talking about too much of what they got going on. Gargano did make an appearance tonight during an EC3 match. Now, he didn't interfere in the match that EC3 had with Fabian Eichner, but Johnny Gargano riled up the crowd and kind of ticked off EC3 during his match, saying, I have a contract in my hand, and this contract is for Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa 2 in a street fight at NXT TakeOver Chicago #2. So I can't wait to see what's going on with that, man. That may be one of the best matches of the year to go along with their epic at TakeOver New Orleans. And that's all we've seen of Johnny Gargano on this episode of NXT. But that is something we'll talk about as we get closer to TakeOver Chicago, man. Tonight was all about Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. My God. If you aren't excited about this match coming up, man, again, I say, you are not a human being. You might not be of this earth. You might not have any blood pulsing through your veins, man. You might be the Walking Dead. Now, I understand Ricochet came in with a ton of hype. I understand Ricochet is overly criticized for his promo work or his microphone skills. Whatever, man. Ricochet is going to get where he needs to be as far as promo work goes. Did you see that match with Donovan Dijak or Chris Dijak tonight on NXT? Holy shit. Did those two guys pack everything that they possibly could in a 3-minute match? That was literally the first time that I've seen Chris Dijak. I haven't seen anything of his Ring of Honor work beforehand. That was literally my first showcase of Chris Dijak. And my fucking hat is loose because my other fucking hat, my AJ Styles hat, is inside. I was too lazy to go get it. This was the first time that I seen anything of Chris Dijak. Holy shit, do I want to see this guy on NXT TV. And if that didn't solidify him a spot on NXT TV, I don't know what the fuck will. This guy, 6'8", 6'8", doing springboard elbow drops and fluid one-motion moonsaults off the top rope. Holy shit. When Vince McMahon sees this guy, he's going to be like, where the fuck has this guy been all my life? He's going to fucking walk around backstage pitching a tent in his fucking pants. Never mind that, Ricochet. Ricochet looked like a shrimp compared to this guy. And then Ricochet showing you exactly he is much more than high-flying aerial offense. That vertical suplex where he deadlift Chris Dijak off the ground, holy shit. And that 630, the way he executed that 630 And then he finished the move and he stood up and he just said, yeah, motherfucker, I got all that move. You ain't getting up from that. They packed as much as they could into that 3-minute match that I seen normal 15, 20-minute matches. I definitely want to see more of Chris Dijak on NXT TV. And if that didn't solidify him TV time moving forward at the next set of tapings, man, they are missing out on showcasing him at Full Sail University. And that wasn't even the best part of it. That wasn't even the best part of it, man. Ricochet was about to lay down the challenge for NXT TakeOver Chicago against Velveteen Dream. And before he even issued the challenge, Dream came out and started to go after, verbally, Ricochet. Ricochet called Velveteen Dream a punk. You know, Dream wants the spotlight. When the spotlight is on Dream, he's one of the most entertaining wrestlers, one of the most entertaining guys in NXT. So, it's all deserved. And everybody thought Ricochet was going to take the high road here. And then Velveteen Dream comes out and says, punk? You calling me a punk? And then he continues to say, whatever you can do, I can do better. And then the challenge was laid down. Ricochet was like, well, you know, as far as I see it, you know, why don't you come in here and do something about it? You're all the way on the stage, you know, and all you're showing me is that you're nothing but a coward, says Ricochet. And then Dream continues to say, whatever you can do, the Dream can do better. And then all of a sudden, I'm laying on my fucking couch. I got my coconut seltzer in hand. And Ricochet, you know, he's in the ring and Velveteen Dream is walking down the ramp with the microphone in his hand. Ricochet does a fucking leaping 450, a standing leaping 450 over the top rope, and he lands on his feet right in front of the Velveteen Dream. And then he smirks. After Velveteen Dream says, whatever you could do, I can do better, Ricochet pulled off a stunt like that, landed on his feet, got in Dream's face, and merely said, oh yeah? Show me. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. I am giving these guys every strand of my attention 2 weeks from Saturday. I am not looking anywhere else when those two guys are in the ring doing what they need to do. That has potential match of the year written all over it. And if anything has happened this year in NXT, I think they are going to do something special in Chicago. And like I said it a few times. You know, Dream, he's 22 years old. And he's in the ring with Ricochet. And everybody loves Dream and everybody respects Dream. John Cena recently came out at some Comic-Con, I don't remember where it was, and said he has high praise for Velveteen Dream, that the Velveteen Dream is going to be the next big thing in NXT. I would not put it past Patrick Clark to go into that match and do something that we have not seen him do this year yet in that ring, to just raise his stock even further than where it is right now. I can't wait to see those two go at it. Ricochet and Velveteen Dream, my God, man, that may be one of the best matches at the end of the year when we start booking, you know, what's the best matches in WWE at the end of the year. I have a feeling you're going to be mentioning, or at least everybody's going to be mentioning, Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream at NXT TakeOver Chicago, man. What a fucking match with Chris Dijak, and what a promo back and forth. Just getting you hyped about what they got going on at Chicago, man. Holy shit. Aleister Black finally makes his appearance on NXT television. Our NXT champion really hasn't been involved with much of anything lately. Aleister Black came out and said that there's some confusion as to who his opponent is, but whoever his opponent is, all he needs is one shot to take him down. Lars Sullivan hits the ring, his music goes off, and he said to Aleister Black, the dispute is over. I went to go talk to William Regal. It will be Lars Sullivan versus Aleister Black for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Chicago. Sullivan says he will give Black credit for what he's done over the 16 years he's been a professional wrestler, but Black has never faced anyone like him before. Lars Sullivan states, and I quote, "You can try to ignore your emotions all you want, but you can't ignore the reality of what's going to happen to you at Chicago," says Sullivan. Sullivan then tries for a choke, gets pushed back. Black tries for the Black Mass. Sullivan blocks it and catches him and hits a freak accident on the NXT champion. Sullivan then picks up the title, is buried in booze, and lifts the title over his head, signifying that he will become the new NXT heavyweight, and I mean heavyweight champion down at Full Sail University, man. Aleister Black versus Lars Sullivan. I'm telling you this right now. It might not be the one match that topped everybody's wish list for Aleister Black at Chicago, but do not overlook what this match could be at Chicago in the main event. I have a feeling that, a lot of people are going into this just feeling underwhelmed with this match. You could probably pick out anybody else on that roster to go against Aleister Black and give you a 5-star main event. I'm not looking at a 5-star main event for TakeOver Chicago. We got a 5-star match in Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa coming up. We got a possible 5-star match of the year candidate in Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. If they want to position Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan underneath those guys, fine. It's not supposed to be a wrestling clinic. It's not supposed to be a 5-star match. But I don't want, like I said, Aleister Black to take a backseat. I need the NXT Championship in the main event. I need Lars Sullivan and Aleister Black main eventing Chicago. I don't need another street fight or another no-holds-barred match with Gargano and Ciampa main eventing. They got their emotions out. Now this is to a whole nother level. This is not a main event match. The NXT Championship needs to be in the main event. But, like I said, do not sleep on what they are doing with this NXT Championship match. Again, it might not be the match you want. Might not be the match I want. But I think these guys are going in underwhelming most. But I think they're going to pull out a surprising main event that's going to leave a lot of us happy in 2 weeks. So Lars Sullivan, Aleister Black is now confirmed for NXT TakeOver Chicago. Man, do the War Raiders look good. Dude, they look fucking good, man. They had a match tonight against 2 enhancement guys, these 2 poor souls. They legitimately earned their paycheck, and they got fucked up. I never see, you rarely see a main roster or NXT talent that's on the rise against an enhancement talent, and you kind of just have one of these old-fashioned beatdowns where it's just, my God, just put these guys out of their misery already. This was like an old-school WWF Superstars back in the day on Fox 5 beatdown. War Raiders, Hanson and Rowe, decimated these 2 poor guys. And they're already claiming Morrow, and you got Percy on commentary with Nigel saying, who's going to stop these guys? Now, they beat Heavy Machinery. They have really, showcased what they are capable of, but not against anyone in NXT outside of Heavy Machinery. I think they probably went up against Sabatelli and Moss, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that, but regardless, they're already claiming that War Raiders are being positioned for an NXT Championship match. Whoever walks out of Chicago with the NXT Tag Team Championships, more than likely it's going to be Undisputed Era. There's no reason to take the titles off of Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. You're probably looking at Hanson and Rowe as your next challengers, heading into TakeOver Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. That's what I think is going to happen. But my God, the War Raiders just destroy these 2 poor souls, man. They won via pinfall with their guillotine leg drop finisher. I don't know what it's called. I think I asked this last week. I keep forgetting it. If it's called something, if it's got a specific name to it, please leave it down in the comment section. I got to get on board with the names of these finishing moves, especially with the War Raiders, man. They're looking very, very good, and you got to really take into consideration what the commentary team is saying. Who's going to stop these guys? There's really nobody on the roster that's going to stop these guys. With the size and speed and strength of these guys, unreal. EC3 and Fabian Eichner. Now, if there's one guy I want to see more of, it's Fabian Eichner. This guy has superstar written all over him. He went against EC3, and EC3 was ticked off during this match because Johnny Gargano came down and came from the back. He legitimately came from the crowd, and he had a contract in hand for the street fight with Tommaso Ciampa. And he got on the microphone, and he rushed the commentary table. He took the microphone that was sitting in front of Mauro Ranallo, and he said he has a contract in hand. It's signed. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, number 2 at TakeOver Chicago, and he just drops the contract. He throws the microphone down, and he storms out. EC3's looking at him, and he's wondering what the hell's going on. But EC3 versus Fabian Eichner ended up being a solid, little match between these two, man. Chance of NX3 for EC3, and he wins here via pinfall with that cutter, or whatever he does there, that 1% cutter, or whatever the fuck he's calling that thing. Fabian Eichner pulled off a springboard crossbody off the top rope, man. The height that he got on that move was ridiculous. I want to see more of Fabian Eichner. And, they keep saying on commentary that Fabian Eichner's only one win away from getting some momentum. He's got all the tools in the world to be an NXT champion. He's a 5-tool athlete, right? And all he has to do is just piece the puzzle together, and he's going to be unstoppable. I'm hoping we see more of Fabian Eichner, man. This guy is in the ring against top-tier guys, and he's putting these guys over. I hope they give him an opportunity to really shine once these other guys got their taste of success in NXT. Fabian Eichner definitely is somebody that we need to start seeing more of on NXT. We had a vignette for Bianca Belair. This was a great sit-down interview with Bianca Belair that spanned about 4 or 5 minutes. It detailed all her athletic background, her schooling, her family lineage, the fact that she's come from a very successful family, the fact that she has to live up to a lot of the accolades set forth by her family. A lot of her footage shown in this video package was from her high school days, her college days. And when she finished college, she got complacent. She went back to living a regular lifestyle. She was very heavily involved in sports. She took up CrossFit. And then when she finished college, she just went back to just living a basic lifestyle that made her feel bored. Then she found wrestling. She found the Performance Center. And she started training to be an NXT superstar. And at that point, she said, "This has been my calling. I feel like this is where I've belonged this entire time." And they showed her training in NXT, the rigorous training that she does. When she goes to the gym, people give her weird looks because she's outlifting everybody else in that women's division. And Bianca Belair, I knew there was something special just by watching her in the Mae Young Classic, which I hope to see her back in the 2nd annual Mae Young Classic this year, because I think she can go even further. And the Mae Young Classic should be used for someone like Bianca Belair. Now, I knew she was something special when I seen her there against Kairi Sane. That was one of the best matches of the entire tournament. I knew Bianca Belair was going to be something special. After that video package, and after giving you a brief look into who she is, there's no doubt in my mind that Bianca Belair is going to be the NXT Women's Champion when all is said and done. This woman is a freak of nature. She's an athlete, and this is what a wrestler is. She has every aspect of professional wrestler written all over her. And I can't wait to see her succeed in NXT, man. I don't even think we've seen half of what she's capable of. And that video package really got me excited about seeing more of her. And I think she's going to be a vital piece to the NXT Women's Division in 2018. Moving on here, man, we got the Bianca Belair video package, and we went right into Ricochet versus Chris Dijak. This was Chris Dijak's TV debut on NXT. He loses, but in very impressive fashion. He did a springboard elbow drop that made me almost drop my fucking beverage. Then he goes for a moonsault, and he almost fucking kills himself, but Ricochet ended up really impressing everybody with sheer strength, his fluid athleticism, which he didn't miss a step on. And if Ricochet wants to get into a fight with somebody, my God, is he fucking stiff. So Ricochet has everything coming together so far in NXT. He just needs to work more on that mic skill, man. He's got, that Rock impersonation going on. He's got those weird facial expressions like he thinks he's Dwayne Johnson. Tone that shit down. You're Ricochet, Develop your own character and stop trying to, mimic what The Rock is doing via emotion or facial expressions. The first thing that I seen him looking around to the crowd, when they were chanting Dream's name. And it reminded me of what Dwayne Johnson would do when he was in the ring cutting a promo. Be your own man. Stop trying to mimic, one of the most popular, if not the most popular superstar in all of WWE. But Ricochet, what a victory here tonight, man. 6:30 over Chris Dijak. Like I said, if Chris Dijak does not get television time after this, they are doing something seriously fucked up down at NXT. Post-match, Ricochet grabs the mic, says he understands Velveteen Dream and how he likes the spotlight. He gives Dream props, but says the spotlight not only shows how good you are, but it shows your flaws as well. Ricochet calls Dream a punk for attacking him during last week's handicap match before he can finish, and lays down the challenge for NXT TakeOver. Dream comes out and merely says, "Punk." He lets go of that, and before Ricochet gets into his own spotlight, he then says, "Ricochet, whatever you can do, I, the Dream, can do better." Ricochet says the only thing he sees Dream doing right now is standing up on the stage, showing how much of a coward he really is. Ricochet says if Dream wants the spotlight, then come take it. Dream makes his way to the ring and puts, the brakes on because he has to at this point. Ricochet does a fucking 450 over the ropes, lands on his feet, gets in front of Dream's face, and says, show me. And then he says, "I'll see you in Chicago." And he says, "Ricochet's face is beautiful. I'll see your beautiful face in Chicago. Whatever you could do, I can do better." Unbelievable fucking hype for this match, man. Great stuff by both men. That's got me very excited. And I don't really get excited about much of anything, man. But NXT TakeOver Chicago might seem a little underwhelming right now, but I think those two matches, the Gargano match with Ciampa and the Street Fighter and Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream, are going to carry the workload for NXT TakeOver Chicago in just 2 weeks. Shayna Baszler and Dakota Kai. Now, this we've discussed during our NXT reviews on Wednesday. This is a real bullying storyline. This is how a bullying storyline should be if you're going to portray one in a WWE angle. Shayna Baszler has come a long way. I see her progressing. I am enjoying her. I think she plays the role beautifully. She's got that bully, attitude down. She's got the look down. All she needs is to get better in the ring and hone that skill. And Shayna Baszler is going to be a total package for the women's division in NXT. Dakota Kai is the perfect partner for Shayna Baszler playing this bully role. Dakota Kai's got the look of someone who is, being bullied, and she looks soft, and she looks fragile, and she looks weak, but we know she's not. In that girl is inner anger. And if you push her enough, she's going to defend herself, and she's going to back herself up. And she's going to say, enough of this shit. I had enough of everything. So you got two characters here that are playing the role beautifully. Dakota Kai, after all this time, finally gets an NXT Women's Championship match. And she made Shayna Baszler look really, really good. Shayna Baszler picking apart Dakota Kai, working on the leg, working on the ankle. Dakota Kai at moments in this match looking very helpless. It just told a great story. In the end, Dakota Kai tried to come back, but Shayna Baszler had the ankle lock. Baszler demands that Kai kick her. Shayna Baszler demanded Dakota Kai to kick her in the face. Kai gets near the ropes, but Baszler pulls back to the middle of the ring. Kai gets to the ropes. Baszler stomps her arm and goes right back to an ankle lock. Crowd gets behind Dakota Kai, and she hits an enziguri. Couple of forearms, the champion is reeling. Bicycle kick puts Baszler down to the mat. She hits that big running kick in the corner. That Sami Zayn Helluva kick. Kai looks for her finisher, but Baszler twists in midair and locks a rear naked choke. She went for that inverted backstabber, and Shayna Baszler turned it into a rear naked choke. Dakota Kai taps out, and Shayna Baszler wins via submission. But that was not the end. At the end of this thing, Baszler continues to lock in the choke, She continues to attack Dakota Kai, and Nikki Cross, who was seen last with Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler backstage laughing at this entire thing, Nikki Cross runs out and breaks up that chokehold on Dakota Kai. Cross yells at Baszler, saying, "Let go." Cross is going nuts at this point. Baszler starts staring at her, and she takes the title and leaves the ring. She heads up the ramp. Cross runs after Shayna Baszler, takes the title, and puts it in the ring. She lays it on the mat. Cross then lays out the title, taunts Baszler to get back into the ring and come and get it. Baszler comes in. Cross takes the title away again, and she starts yelling at Baszler, "You, me, tonight." And then she starts pointing at Dakota Kai, "You, me, tonight. Dakota, you're the referee." So Cross locks in her finishing move on Shayna Baszler. She does that fisherman twisting neck breaker that she does, and she knocks out Shayna Baszler. Dakota Kai gets on her hands and knees, counts the 3 count, and Shayna Baszler is pinned by Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross takes the title and starts screaming in the middle of the ring, holding the title up as if she just won the title. Referee's like, "No, this wasn't an official match." So Cross takes the title, runs around with it, starts slamming it on the ground, starts flinging it in the air. Baszler yells, "This wasn't real. You're crazy." Cross then has the title on the ramp, and she starts looking at Shayna Baszler, who's in the ring, just massively confused about what's going on. Looking at Nikki Cross as if she's some fucking lunatic who needs to be locked away. Now, I said to myself, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, NXT's women's division has a lot more going on than either Raw or SmackDown. It's not necessarily that NXT's women are more must-see, but the NXT women have the NXT creative team legitimately taking care of them. They have story. They have character. A lot of these women on the main roster don't have fucking character. You can distinguish one from the other. Oh, Dakota Kai. Look at her role. Look at her character. Oh, Nikki Cross. Look at her character. Look at her role. Look at Shayna Baszler. Look at Kairi Sane. Look at Lacey Evans. Look at Bianca Belair. Everyone kind of stands out individually. Meanwhile, on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, everybody just feels the same. There's literally nothing special about anybody on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live outside of Ember Moon and lately Ruby Riott. It's amazing to me. It really is. The women in NXT are being taken care of, and they should be counting their blessings that they have talented people writing for them, making them stand out, making them look good, giving them storylines that don't insult our intelligence. It's just great television. When was the last time you seen something with the women, something involving the women, ending an NXT TV taping, and you're interested to see where it goes? When was the last time a women's segment ended on Raw or SmackDown, and you actually legitimately fucking cared about where it's going? I can't remember a time at all, especially recently. NXT, man. Thank God for NXT on Wednesdays. Because if there was no NXT on Wednesdays, my God, would we be in one big depressive state with WWE television. This NXT show was really, really fucking fun tonight, man. This was a great show. You got Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan confirmed for TakeOver Chicago. War Raiders are destroying everybody in the tag team division. EC3 and Fabian Eichner with a great showcase match. Bianca Belair showing you who she is and where she is going to end up at the top of the NXT women's division. We got Ricochet and Chris Dijak. Huge NXT debut. Massively impressive. Setting up Ricochet and Dream for TakeOver Chicago, man. The hype for that match right now is through the roof. And Shayna Baszler versus Dakota Kai, an NXT Women's Championship match, closing the show with a wild card in Nikki Cross, possibly setting up a very, very unpredictable match at TakeOver Chicago for the NXT Women's Championship, man. Lots to digest in NXT, and this is only a 1-hour show. If NXT can do a 1-hour show and get that much content and that much importance into one show, why can't Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live do the fucking same thing? NXT is showing you why less is more. We need these shows on the main roster to be not 3 hours, and we need these shows to be booked with character-driven storylines. There's nothing on these shows that make you fucking say, I want to watch next week. Every single time we finish watching an NXT TV show, you want to watch next week. Or you're thinking like I am, man, I wish this was 2 hours. Or man, I wish this was 90 minutes. Just because you don't want it to end. They got you by the balls. And they're going to make you watch next week. That's their storytelling. That's their initiative. That's what they've been doing. I don't understand how this is so difficult on a week-to-week basis with these main shows. Great show tonight. Very fun show tonight. And NXT TakeOver Chicago, listen, it might not seem like a blowaway show like New Orleans was. You got the tag team title match. You got Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan versus the Undisputed Era. I think that's going to be, that could potentially steal the show. And remember, this is in Chicago. Chicago's going to make every match feel like it's a fucking 5-star match. That could be an underwhelming match to some, but I think that match could potentially steal the show, especially with a Cinderella team like Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. And then you got Roderick Strong, who is as hungry as ever with Kyle O'Reilly. Makes you wonder what Adam Cole's going to be doing at TakeOver Chicago. Maybe they give him the night off. I don't fucking know. I mean, he's the North American champion and he's the hottest thing in NXT. I wouldn't give him the night off. I'd find him an opponent. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there with Adam Cole at TakeOver Chicago. Then you got Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan for the NXT World Championship. Again, don't sleep on it. Lars Sullivan has done enough to prove to you that he's worthy of being a world champion. And worthy of being in a top spot. I mean, just look at him in that ladder match. I mean, how could you look at him in that ladder match and say, man, this guy doesn't belong here? He certainly does belong here. Do I think he's winning the title? Fuck no. Would I give him the title? Fuck no. Aleister Black hasn't even gotten his feet wet as champion yet. But don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it at all. Then you got a women's match with Shayna Baszler and Nikki Cross. We've been dying to see Nikki Cross on television. Here you go. Now she's getting a championship match. Nikki Cross brought Asuka to her best match, period, in WWE. Maybe she could do the same with Shayna Baszler. And Shayna Baszler is someone who I see is learning quickly. Shayna Baszler has the pieces coming together nicely. Maybe Nikki Cross is exactly what Shayna Baszler needs. Going to be interesting to see. Then you got Ricochet and Dream and Gargano Ciampa. I don't need to explain to you those 4 men and those 2 matches. NXT TakeOver Chicago might seem underwhelming to you. You might be hearing reports that they only sold 9,000 tickets to the show out of 14,000. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad show. That doesn't mean Chicago ain't going to be loud as fuck. I can't wait for it, man. Has there ever been a bad takeover? There's never been a bad takeover. I'm expecting them to blow us away as always. Takeover or Money in the Bank? I think you know which one you're going to go with. I'm getting out of here, man. Thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed the review. Listen, SmackDown Live review and Monday Night Raw review were uploaded a day later. Raw was uploaded on Tuesday. SmackDown was uploaded this afternoon. Go and check those videos out. I ripped Monday Night Raw to shreds, as always, for their stupidity and illogical booking. SmackDown Live was a little bit more positive. I don't know if Road Dogg maybe caught amnesia. Maybe they moved him over to Monday Night Raw. I don't fucking know. Maybe he caught some fucking reverse, stupidity disease. Because SmackDown Live obviously has been decent the last couple of weeks. But if you missed those 2 reviews, they are live on the channel right now. Go and check them out. Show some support. Leave a thumbs up. Do what you got to do there. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that bell and hit that subscribe button down low for more WWE content on a weekly basis. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. And I'll see you guys for episode 225 of Off the Script this Friday, where we got a bunch of news regarding WWE's TV deals again. Apparently NBC Universal is said to be embarrassed by the WWE product. We'll talk about all that plus so much more on Off the Script this weekend. Thank you guys so much, man. This is NXT. As always, great show tonight. Very fun show tonight. Leave me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow with more content right here on the channel, and Friday for episode 225 of Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.